Grizzly. It's called The Rewind, where we go and we discuss all the topics that happen during the week, or at least the major topics, anyways. First off, we'll start off with Brian the Grizzly. Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Hey, you can find me right here, guys. You already know we part of the Spoiler King, so I come there Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We'll be doing this show, and then me and Hanzo do stuff on Bigger Four Entertainment. So watch all the things that we do. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of topics. I can't wait to get started with you guys.
Absolutely. It's going to be a good one. So we're going to get right into it. And we will bring up the first topic coming now. All right. First topic we have on the calendar today is Mike Coulter has now been, I guess, signed to play Luke Cage. Brian.
So here is it. Mike Coulter is remembered for the Luke Cage return. Basically, two scoopers, Daniel RPK, My Time to Shine Hello. Both are saying the same thing, that Mike Coulter is returning in Luke Cage for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So we're literally going to get him no matter what. Mike Coulter is coming back as Luke Cage. We already know we got Jessica Jones. We're going to have Luke Cage. And there's someone else actually going to be coming back that I'm not so happy about. Iron Fist will also be coming on too. All three of them will be in the season 2 of Daredevil Born Again.
So it seems to me like they all are coming back, which is a good thing. To me, we got to recast Luke Cage, bro. We already know how I feel about Luke Cage. Mike Coulter, I don't think he's that great of an actor. Danny already saying yes. He's saying yes, he's coming back. I'm like, no. The first season of Luke Cage, I thought the first half was good, right? I thought it was really good. And then they killed off Cottonmouth, and I think it felt like two different shows. Second season, I thought Bushmaster was really
fire.
good. 100%. But to me, the weakest part of the show is Luke Cage. I'm not a fan of him that much. And I hope, at least with Marvel taking over, they can maybe make it better. But right now, I'm not sold.
You do realize that Luke Cage was like rated like a 90% for his TV shows, and people loved it. And I think Mike Coulter is so good. He had another show that he had, with Evil. 4 seasons they did with that, and he was the star of that show. And people are sleeping on Mike Coulter on what he does, man. He has a good ability. I feel like he actually embodies a lot of Luke Cage, but I would love for them to go deeper into it. I want him more in the streets. I want him more dealing with people. Hell's Kitchen is a huge part of it. We don't get enough of that. So I think he's going to be great. I think if you're going to reboot, and this is what Marvel's doing, it makes no sense to recast these guys if you're going to bring them in. You're going to have them in Daredevil. You might even have them in Secret Wars, street level stuff. There's no reason to recast them. Yeah.
You are the weakest part of this pal. Watching. Really, Danny? Already? 10 o'clock in the morning and you're already over here talking ish? Okay, I got you. It's funny though, right? Because we watched Twisted Metal and we both looked at the guy that plays Axel's name is really not coming to my mind, right? I think he could play Luke Cage. I think he would be a better Luke Cage than Mike Coulter, to be honest with you. And we already know how I feel about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Mac. I think he would be a great Luke Cage as well. It's just something about Mike Coulter where I'll say, I think he feels the same in every movie. You know what I mean? Like Keanu Reeves is the same in every movie. And I think we're going to discuss a little bit about Keanu Reeves later on as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that part. But at the same time, I think they're like monotone actors where whatever role he's in, I see Mike Coulter, and I think that's where the problem for me is. I would love for them to have recast, but I can understand why they didn't, because if you're gonna do a soft reboot and you're gonna bring back, everybody else, it makes sense to bring back Mike Coulter.
I think his chemistry with Kristen Ritter, Mike Coulter, Christian Ritter, Jessica Jones was huge, was great. I feel like his show was great. His part in Jessica Jones was great. Them together are essential to basically doing anything. So even Danny Rand bringing him back makes me. It makes you cringe. I hated everything about Iron Fist. I thought they did a terrible job with that. But I think you have to bring all of them back together. You basically are in bringing back the Defenders. It makes a lot of sense. I feel like matter of fact, I'm not even going to disagree with you about Mike Coulter. It feels like Mike Coulter. It doesn't feel like Mike Coulter. Mike Coulter seems like be Luke Cage in everything he ever does. So that's why I'm saying it's not that he's literally Luke Cage. He's the same guy. So like I'm watching him in Evil. I'm like, man, Luke Cage is now a priest. This is crazy. I'm watching him in these movies. Like he has a husband. He's like, man, this night job is Luke Cage. That's what I see him as all the time. So I think you can't really go away from him. I think he is a good actor, and I think he's exactly what we need for right now. Now, when you talk about Axel, Michael James Shaw, I like him, but I don't know how he will be as the feature person on a show. Michael has experience, and he's able to do those things now as the feature person.
I give you that. I'll give you that. I don't think we've seen enough of him in major roles to be like, can he actually carry a show? So I can give you that. And I can also give you the chemistry. I think Luke Cage and Iron Fist, when they did the Defenders show, I think they were the best part of the show, to be honest with you. As much as I didn't really like Defenders, I thought their chemistry together was good, and when they first meet, they have that fight and then they become friends and everything. I thought that was good. So I can give you that. I'm hoping that maybe it's the writing that I wasn't too much of a fan of when it came to the Luke Cage series, and Marvel is able to do something a little bit more with him. Hey man, I'll even be okay if we give him some iconic Luke Cage look. If we can give him, we probably don't want to give him the crown.
You can't give
I
him the
get it.
70s. You're not gonna give him the 70s bro with the band.
No. Well, we can give him a yellow shirt, no, right? We can give him a yellow shirt.
Give him a yellow
at
shirt,
least that. But I agree. The band, and I think they did do that in the first season where he gets out of the jail thing. He kind of has the band on his head where it looks like the original Luke Cage. I can see that, but I think there's updated versions of Luke Cage where we can. You can get a little bit more of a comic book accurate Luke Cage. And I think what Marvel is doing now is they're realizing that, you don't have to be 100% true to the comic, but at least if you take beats from it, you can at least have a good series, right? X-Men 97 showed us that. So,
okay. With all this news coming out, my real hope is that Misty Knight comes along. If you're gonna have something with Iron Fist, you're gonna have something with Luke Cage. I need Misty Knight coming. Simone Missick was amazing. She's beautiful. I want that so much. I think it'll make a lot of sense, and I think that storyline will be fun.
I agree with you 100%. Like I'm all down for it. Like if you're gonna do this kind of hard reboot or soft reboot and you're bringing back characters, then yes, I'm right there with you. Bring back Misty as well, and even the nurse.
Oh boy, she's too busy to be in Ahsoka right now. So let's go.
Hey, listen, to be honest with you, we don't really know where this. So I know they're doing season 2, but I don't even think they even started filming yet. So I think there's a way that you can incorporate her in. Like she's not going to be a major role, so she may be just coming in for 1 or 2 days of filming, and then she can go.
She did sleep with all of them, so I'm just saying.
Well, we definitely know we're not going to get some of the scenes we saw in Luke Cage and Jessica Jones with them together. We're not going to get none of those scenes, but it would be a welcome.
In Daredevil, we might.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. He said they did the first episode. He looked ridiculous.
He did look. It looked funny. It didn't make sense. You didn't need the armbands and the headband and all that stuff. It didn't look like it would in the real world anymore.
I agree. And that is something too. They should update little things about the character, right? Ever. Danny said they could do a tight yellow mesh T-shirt and blue pants with metal bands. That may work. I could see that. Some kind of metal bands, at least. You know what I mean? Like gold bands around his waist or something.
Even if it's just
around his wrist.
Like wristwatches or something to that. Like if it's just chains, something to make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not against Rosario Dawson ever coming back. But
Oh, me neither. 100%. MCU has gone downhill since Secret Wars. Well, we didn't get Secret Wars yet, Eli.
yeah,
So it hasn't gone down since
I
Secret
I
Wars
think you
yet.
want secret invasions. That what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe Secret Invasion is talking about.
We don't talk
Best
about that
phase
show,
was
Eli.
phase four.
We don't
No,
talk about that.
not today. We're not doing that. So, guys, let us know what you think. Do you think bringing back Luke Cage, Mike Coulter is a great idea, or do you think, as I do, that they could have recast? I think they could have recast. So we'll
We
see.
good.
But
Let's go.
we we will get into the next topic, guys, and let me bring it up. So the next topic we decided to talk about is we are going to go through box office numbers for the week, right? A
Mhm.
lot of you guys like to go with the box office numbers, and I think this would be the perfect time to bring up the box office numbers for the week. I have the article here, and we'll just go through them real quick because it looks like the number one the number one right now is K-pop, Demon Hunter. But second, it's Weapons, Freaky Friday, Fantastic Four is still on the list, The Bad Guys 2, Superman, Nobody 2, Naked Gun at number 7, Number 8 is Honey Don't. Never heard of that one. Number 9 is Jurassic Park Rebirth. Number
Mhm.
10 is F1 the movie. So that's the movie topping out the number 10 for the box office. Now, for you, Brian, what do you think? Is there any surprises for you about the box office numbers?
I mean, K-pop Demon Hunter. I knew. So here's the story about K-pop. K-pop Demon Hunter was only in theaters for 2 days at limited theaters. I think it's 1,800 theaters, limited, and they were number one, making $18 million in 2 days. That's how crazy that movie was. That's how much is going streaming. Netflix is losing their damn mind. The question is, why would you only put it in 2 days in the movie theater? There's an answer. There's a big answer for this. I don't want to get too
Hmm.
far into it, but understand there is benefits to not putting in the movie theaters. There's benefits to not paying the movie theaters to put your movie there. And you know, how big is this sensation? Like my kids have watched it 16 times.
Really?
Yeah. So and all the kids in their class love it. It's K-pop is probably the biggest music sensation that you're gonna have. Like people, Korean pop is huge. You see those bands? I had a band in my Wrigleyville store. They had a concert in Wrigley, and it was nuts. The whole streets took over the entire area. So putting this in movie theaters made sense. I think this is a smart idea, and it basically ran the box office, and especially in this slow time when we don't have a lot of people watching them. No great movies are out right now.
So here's a question I'll ask you. Do you think this will be like a trend where, you see something that's popping on Netflix right away, they pop it into theaters for a few days, maybe a week? I think if they would have done a week, you probably would have had a better box office push, right? Because there are shows and movies that Tomorrow War. Is it
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow War?
Yeah.
That came straight to streaming. I think that movie would have been great to watch on in the big screen. You know what I mean?
No, I
So I
agree.
think maybe that could be a trend where it's like, oh, this is something that I think is good. Maybe we bring it out in theaters for a week or two and see what people have to say about it, right?
So I don't want it to bleed into this other thing I'm going to talk about, but what it really does, the reason you do this is you try to make sure you don't want to share. You don't want to share your money. So there's
Mhm,
movies like Extraction 2, that definitely could have been in
mhm,
movie theaters. You know,
mhm.
that do really well, but Netflix has their entire catalog for a reason, and they're able to make so much money for a reason. So it makes a lot
Agree.
of sense overall for them. Um, but here's the issue that I'm having.
Mhm.
The reason why these are the number one movies is because they're taking Superman out of the theaters. Their
Yes.
Fantastic Four is going out of the theaters. And I know that everyone's thinking, oh, well, it should be out. No, it shouldn't be.
Mhm.
You should not be.
Mhm.
Superman was pulled out of theaters within 28 days.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, Fantastic Four was pulled out of the theaters within like within a month. It doesn't make sense that movies should be running through so fast. How do we expect it to make money? How do you expect it to, for us to have that second run? There's a lot of movies
Mhm.
I grew up on, like The Matrix, right? I went and saw The Matrix, right? Then I saw it again, and then a couple of months later, we were at at Thanksgiving, whatever, and talked to the family. We all went to go see it. That's how you start getting these things going, and I
Mhm.
think they're pulling them out too early. But that's why we have
And
these box office that we have right now.
I agree with you because me being older than you, man, I remember when, these movies didn't come to DVD for like a year later, I should
It
say
was like
VHS.
9 months.
I-
It was like,
Right.
like
Right. And what they would do is they would have a theatrical run, they would take
Mhm,
it out, and then they would re-release it again, right? So certain movies got re-released 2 or 3 times before it even went to VHS. And I
mhm,
think that's a model that you need to go to. I understand the times are different now where you're getting a lot more movies coming out, a lot more bigger budgets, and a lot of these companies feel like most of their money comes from the theatrical release and then on demand. And because it comes on demand, they get 100% of the profit. It gets to a
mhm.
point to me where it seems like we might end up seeing theaters become obsolete. And I
That's
think that's what we're
huge.
going to talk about when we come to another topic towards the end there, right? So
Mhm.
guys, make sure to stick to that too as well. But maybe not completely shut down theaters, but only the big ones are going to be around, and it's only going to be for like big event movies, like the
Mhm.
Doomsday, like the Secret Wars. I think that's the path that we're kind of going down
Yeah.
because, like you said, Superman, the box office for Superman right now is totaled. What do we
I
have?
believe
Like
Superman's at
almost
$607 million. And this movie,
600.
if it was pushed in theaters as long as it should have been, this movie would have been pushing 750, $800 million. There's no way.
Agreed.
The way they don't do it now, you're not going to hit $1 billion for this type of movie. But if you pushed it the way you're supposed to push it, you would have got another, 150, $200 million easily in box office.
Absolutely. And this is the one of the reasons why, yes, it's great to talk about box office numbers, but when you really look at it overall, did they really make as much money as they should have, right? Because we know the
Mhm.
movies that are going to make money. Spider-Man's going to come out, it's
Oh, it's going.
possible going to make a billion,
Yeah.
right?
So
Doomsday, a billion.
Spider-Man might make 2 billion.
Exactly, exactly. Doomsday, same thing. Might make
Yeah.
2 billion. Secret Wars might make 2 billions. But then when you get past those event movies, are these other movies real? Like it's a hit or miss that they're even gonna make 800 million at this point.
Well, it's funny that you're bringing that up because I mean, I know you don't like Sinners, but for purposes of understanding an independent movie, being in the movie theater, making $300 million, no one would know about it. You're going on
Mm-hmm.
demand. You're trying to go directly to consumer. No one will have known about this, and this is it's a sensation. And to lose movies like that would be pitiful. And
I 100.
you
You
need to think
see,
about
and
that.
that's what I like, right? When you talk about these independent movies who have these low budgets, they come into the theaters and they blow it up, right?
Mhm.
And these type of movies aren't looking to make $1 billion, right? They're just looking to make a profit and be up there. So Sinners making as much money as it did is actually a great thing because now you can see, oh, maybe if we get these good independent movies, then we can have you know make more money or recoup some of the losses that we're going to make for like some of these movies. Like Superman is probably
Might break even. It's going to be
yeah,
basically overall break even. But when
absolutely.
you look at like so Sanders has said a budget of $90 million, right?
Hmm.
Then we look at $366 million made in theaters. Now you're going to have opportunity to see more of these independent movies. This is
Agreed.
really important to be
Agreed.
able to do those things, and I think that's perfect. It's wild to be able to do those things.
100%. I agree with you. So, those are the box office number, guys. Let us know what you think. Do you think Superman should have made more money? Do you think Fantastic Four should have made more money than Superman, right? Because there are people out there who like Fantastic Four a little bit better. So,
Yeah,
let us know
Danny,
in the comments. Huh? Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we already know Danny's takes are what do we call him? The worst take YouTuber on
He has the worst takes at all on YouTube.
On YouTube,
Yeah,
right at
yeah.
100%. Love me some Danny though.
That's
Danny is
him, not
great.
me. That's it.
Danny said Avatar is going to make a billion or two. Avatar is
No,
one of those event movies that would do
no
so.
way.
But stay tuned, Danny, because we got a question at the end where we're talking about box office money and stuff like that. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But guys, we are going to get into the next topic. Let's do this. All right, guys. So the next topic we have is something I thought was very interesting. And let me share my screen here. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, so Keanu Reeves is being talked to be Silver Surfer in Doomsday. So we have the monotone. So everyone always thought Keanu Reeves should have been Silver Surfer, even when we were in the 2004, 2006 Fantastic Four movies. Hearing him with his monotone voice as Silver Surfer is something that people have been fan casting for over 20 years. Now we have an
Mhm.
opportunity for him to be able to go in and be Silver Surfer in Doomsday. Do you like this, or do you think this is a reach?
You know what? It's funny because I talked to my son about it. I was like, "Oh, did you hear they're trying to?" And he was like, "I don't have a problem with that." And I'm like, "You know what? Me neither." Right? I actually think if you get a seasoned actor to play Silver Surfer, you're gonna give him a better role. Right? He's gonna have a big role. We all seen what they did with the Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. He was major part, but he wasn't really a major part of the movie. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really do much. He had one little good action scene, and it pretty much was that it from there. So I'm actually excited to see him play Silver Surfer. I think he's gonna do a good job. Yes, Keanu Reeves is monotone. What I said it earlier. Whatever you see Keanu Reeves in, it's Keanu Reeves, right? John Wick. It's Keanu. It just
He's
is.
Neo,
But
but think about it, he's
yes,
embodied multiple characters. Though it is him, he has
yes.
embodied so many multiple characters that you think that he could do is now CGI. So now if you're doing Silver Surfer, Keanu Reeves is getting older. Okay, he's not going to be
Mhm,
able to be doing these action movies when he's 60, which is only like 2 or 3 years away. So
mhm.
having him in as a character that he can voice and doesn't have to be necessarily the body actor of is probably a great way of doing it. And then you could have a lot more CGI. He doesn't have to worry about how he's going to look. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's Keanu Reeves has been doing action movies for such a long time. I mean, it doesn't matter if we're talking about Speed. Doesn't matter if we're talking about, we just talk about The Matrix. It's going to be
Mhm,
really, really good. I'm excited about seeing what Keanu Reeves could become overall. It doesn't matter about Silver because here's a major complaint about Fantastic Four.
mhm.
Sh- Shia even though I thought she was good, no one really cared for her as much.
Agreed,
For the
agreed.
MCU, that's we all know seems to be dying a little bit. You need to start bringing some A-list actors in.
Mhm.
Is there any more A-list than Keanu Reeves?
Agreed. I don't think so. And I think you're right too. I think the last phase of the MCU shows that even though I always say this, that actors don't make the movies anymore, right? Back in the day, you would go see an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie just because it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? People don't do that anymore. But what I do find is that if you add an actor to a certain, movie or project, that enhances it. It's not the end all to be all for the movie anymore, but you put Keanu Reeves in there and it's like, oh, Keanu Reeves fans now, John Wick fans are going to come over, Neo fans are going to come over, when usually they may not have watched the movie, but now one of their favorite actors is in it. So that adds to the box office number. So I think having Keanu Reeves in there, I think that's a good thing to have. I think it's good to at least, so we're gonna get into the X-Men stuff too because I think they're gonna
It
go
will
with new.
drive a lot of the stuff. I mean, and you want,
Right.
and I see a lot of comments asking about, oh, well, how's he gonna look? He has to shave, he has to do all these things. You don't
Hmm.
have to. Josh
No.
Brolin didn't have to do that. Josh Brolin was
Agreed.
Thanos, right? You think Josh Brolin was running around in a big purple suit trying to do all that stuff? No,
Hmm.
that's not what was going on. You could do the same thing with Keanu Reeves. I'm telling you, it could still work out. And now he becomes more almost timeless, ageless. You don't have to worry about those things. So
I agree.
it works.
I agree with you 100%. You don't have to switch him. You don't have to change him. He doesn't have to shave or anything because most of it's going to be CGI anyways, right?
Mhm.
You just have to get the form of his face so it looks like Keanu Reeves. And you went back to Fantastic Four. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people complained about having a female Silver Surfer in there,
Mhm.
but she was fire,
No, she
right?
was. People don't have like any basis on their prejudices or any of that stuff. It's
Hmm.
all about in your mind what you're thinking. Really, but if you get an A-list actor, you don't have that problem. Now you're not going to
Agreed.
say this is Keanu Reeves. You're going to complain about Keanu Reeves. Like really, who are you going to get best better?
Agreed. And if you're complaining about Keanu Reeves, then you just want to complain about anything, right? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we already know people complain about so much things when it comes to the MCU. There's certain things where let it play out. Let's see how it works before you want to run off your mouth and start complaining about this is not comic book this and this is not comic book that. I get it. A lot of people want to see comic book accurate characters, as do I. But at the end of the day, I'm more or less I give it a wait and see kind of thing, right? I remember when Ben Affleck was put up for Batman,
Mhm.
the hate was unbelievable. And I think there were me and a few others that were like, you know what? Ben Affleck's a good actor. Let's see what he can do before
Mhm.
we just hate on him, right? You can't blame his previous movies, which was Daredevil, and that wasn't that great, but you can't blame that and look at that and be like, you know what? Nah, he's not going to do a good Batman because he did great. He did great. Danny
I
sent a
mean, yeah,
$2
so
super
this
chat.
is the funny thing right here. So once again, when you think of Keanu Reeves, you think about Neo. So who
Mhm.
voiced the first Silver Surfer? It was Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes. Yes.
So
And
having that connection again, and then you did that work. It worked well with him. Monotone
mhm,
actors that do this, you can have someone embody them, especially when you're playing someone like Silver Surfer that's more of a AI type of thing. You think of something like that, even though he's alien, he's very much you know very monotone in his acting is and all the things he's doing. So I think that it works out better.
absolutely. And you know what? Thank you for the super chat, Danny. Much appreciated. I do appreciate it. But what I will say is you are correct though. Um, Lawrence Fishburne, he had a deeper voice, but he
Mhm,
played it monotone, right?
mhm.
Like there was no really much emotions. So if Silver Surfer doesn't need to have that type of emotion, Keanu Reeves is perfect.
Yeah, just like Morpheus. No, it's a Silver Surfer
Yeah.
any different than Morpheus? I'm just saying, with Neo
It-
being the Silver Surfer, is that going to hurt? No, it's not.
No, I agree with you 100%. And again, if he's going to be in Doomsday and Silver Surfer, I know he's going to have a role, but
Mhm.
they're
It's
going
going
to
to be a
focus
standalone.
more on they're going to focus more on the characters that they got to get rid of because let's be real, a lot of these characters that they're putting in there from the Fox universe and those other universes are
It's time.
there
They're
to
going to be
die.
killed. They'll be killed off. That's
Yes.
exactly what you're doing, and you're going
Yes.
to erase all of it. They're going to do almost like I always think of this Flashpoint. Where you take
Yeah.
all of them, put everything in one world, and then you redistribute it all. That's the same thing they're going to do. Franklin Richards is going to take it all, put it all in one world, and redistribute it all. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, 100%. And I think we're in for a lot of surprises. There are a lot of shocks in Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't think it's going to be this cookie cutter, kill off all the old characters to bring in new ones. No, there's going to be a few deaths, maybe even some that we're not expecting. So I think that would be definitely something interesting that they're going to do with that one. Eli said James Gunn said he's sticking to source material, i.e., comic books. That's good. He does that. But after watching last two episodes of Peacemaker, I think he really needs to be careful with what he's doing. What's
What up,
up, fella?
Fernando?
It's going to be dope. Half of them will die. Yeah, 100%.
We're going to have to get
100%.
into that. That's going to be actually the last topic I want to talk about Doomsday. I can't wait to get to that. But till then, let's go ahead and wrap this one up because we got to get a couple of more topics out the way first. All right. X-Men revealed Marvel's youngsters are rumored to be, he said released, they debunked, but they're going to be young stars that are rumored to be released in this X-Men thing. So here's what's going on. Jake Schreier basically says he started work on X-Men, on the X-Men reboot. So that's obvious, very exciting. He's already started. They have the first 2 copies of everything has already been done, of the script have already been done. All right. So he already knows kind of where he's going and what he's looking for. And that we're going to start looking for casting. So the X-Men casting is going to start going down right now. Okay. So MCU, they're going to get younger stars. So the idea with these younger stars is so we're going to have a younger, we will have a younger Storm. We'll have a younger Scott Summers. We'll have a younger Jean Grey. Why? Because they could grow with the franchise. And when younger, they'll probably play 23, 22, 23-year-olds, and they could be as old as 30.
Absolutely.
You know? So, and that's kind of how they're rolling and going with this. Okay. I've heard some casting about this, and I hate to bring this up because but I'm always gonna go this way.
Recast T'Challa.
Exactly. So, and then that's what we're gonna get to, right? So, if you're gonna give me a younger Storm, you're gonna give me a younger Storm and X-Men. You need to go ahead and give me a younger T'Challa. And we've heard rumblings about T'Challa. There's been multiple actors now that we've heard that they're in talks with. Now, I know Damson Idris is the main one they're focused on. They said they're in talks with him. He's not the only one. You have a lot of other ones, but these are the type of actors you're gonna look. You look for guys that can play a 22, 23, 24-year-old that can last for another 10, 15 years. Because if you're starting this X-Men saga, it's going to last 10 to 15 years.
100%. 100%. And it's funny that you say that too, right? Because I've even said before, like, you could, and I know they won't, right? Because you don't want to go away from your tadpole, but you could do like a whole year of just X-Men movies and then come back with, the Avengers or Marvel stuff, right? So you could do stuff like that, but I know they're going to mix it in. I honestly think that right after Secret Wars, the next movie has to be the X-Men movie. Like, we've waited long enough. You have the rights back. Let's get an X-Men movie in there right after Secret Wars, and we can do, after that, another Marvel movie like Avengers. Well, not Avengers, but like a Marvel character movie, right? And you could toggle between X-Men, Marvel character, X-Men, Marvel character. Also, you want to be careful not to do too many movies in a year too as well, right? So if you have it planned out, yeah,
they shouldn't do more than 2 anymore.
I agree. And if you want to push it, maybe 3, right? Where it's every 4
the
months.
problem with Marvel right now is that they've pushed so much. We've had so much stuff going on in Marvel. People are just tired of hearing it.
Absolutely.
People are tired of watching all these Marvel movies, and they're not enjoying the experience.
Absolutely.
I'm worried about this. So the X-Men is looking like so they're supposed to start filming in 2026, which is interesting. They're going to start filming in 2026 for a movie that's going to be released in 2020, the end of 2027 or end of 2028. It's probably May of 2028 is where you're going to get the X-Men. All right. The question now is, what are they going to do with it? They could go Avengers, X-Men, Eternals.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys ever seen those Axe comics. That is a comic book run when they had all 3 of them. So the idea was X-Men. Well, the Eternals see the X-Men as deviants. And of course, if you watch the Eternal movie, if you were able to stay away through the Eternals movie, that they think the deviants are exact antithesis of what they do. So they are going to attack them. So now you have the Avengers looking at that. Do they side with the Eternals? Do they side with the X-Men? How is that going to work? So now you can bring X-Men as the major plot point without killing the Avengers. You could bring all 3 of them in, and you can actually save that movie that, I mean, some people like, but most people don't. You could bring back some of the Eternals along with it. And I think that could work. But that's why you need these casting of these young stars, because they're going to have to carry the torch going forward.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny? I'm one of those ones who like, if you never give me an Eternals movie again, I'm good. If you decide to take that off of the calendar, I am good. But it
I
seems
don't
to
think you
me
will.
like
I don't think you will get an Eternals movie ever again. I think that there will be add-ons into other movies
add
down
on
the
to
road.
another one,
Mhm.
which would make sense, and because Eternals are the Eternals, right? So even if you reboot the universe, there's still gonna be, they're like cosmic entities, stuff like that. So they're still gonna be around, right? I think a majority of this is leading up to an X-Men versus Avengers movie, right? I think that's probably going to be the next major, big movie that they're going to do, which is great. And I'm okay with them casting n- younger, unknown
Mhm.
actors, right? At the end of the day, if it helps them save money, where they can put more money into
The
the
film, the
CGI, the
marketing.
film,
Mhm.
and the marketing and stuff like that. So I'm okay with that. And I'm I also have faith that when they pick these younger characters, that they're gonna pick people that are right for the role.
Okay,
Because
so
I can't remember.
let me
Yeah, go
ask
ahead.
you this. Let me ask you
Go
this
ahead.
then. So how do you feel about David Johnson as T'Challa?
I think
You
you'd be
and
good.
so David Johnson, for everyone who doesn't know who he is, he's the guy who
Mhm.
was in Alien Romulus, the
Yeah.
black,
Mhm.
he he seems to be really good as acting. So, I know he's going to be a star in a couple of movies coming up. That could be someone who's not as well known. I saw that Jeff Snyder kind of talked about this a little bit, that he could be one of those people cast as T'Challa, and then we get more of a Civil War II thing. So you have X-Men there because you're still going to have Black Panther 3, right?
Mhm.
If you want if you're that's still going to be around, maybe you get that storyline that I've been always wanting, when you have Storm and T'Challa kind of dating and being around each other, and for that, maybe that would be a great type of movie, and that would reheal a lot of the stuff that we have with Black Panther. You know,
And and you
there's
know
no
what I'm
this
gonna say?
movement that we all hate. I mean, I want them to recast. I've been asked for this, but you can reheal. You can bring us back into the fold and doing those
And
things.
and you know what's the I think would be one of the best ways to get even you, Chill, to get everybody on board? If you do T'Challa Storm wedding,
Exactly. You
right?
have to do the
You
Civil War to T'Challa
Yes,
Storm wedding. Them
yes.
dating, and then you get to that, and that be a big part of your next series of movies.
100%. 100%. Now, we all know Tank gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Tank. Much appreciated. Love it, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Tank.
And I'm going to say now, we all know that in the comic, I don't think they lasted long married wise, right? They separate them. They will probably do that in the movies, but I think you could at least give us a whole arc. And they don't even have to separate. You know what I mean? I think if you're going to get them to be married, you keep them married
Don't ever
because
take it away.
100%, because we already have this, black family where their father's over here, mother's over here, and they're separated. I think if you want to give us the first great married black couple in the MCU, you give us Storm. Okay, hold on. Fantastic Four. I get it. But I said black couple, guys, just so you know, right? So you give us Storm and you give us T'Challa married. I don't think anybody wants to see anything else other than that.
Yeah, see, but if you do this, it'll be once again an apology letter to all of us for killing off the entire family. Right? The
Agreed.
entire royal family that they killed off. You can go ahead and do that, and you can bring this family back. You can reinvent. They reinvent stuff all the time. Let's keep that storyline going together. I think Aurora and T'Challa together being married would be wonderful, and that will it'll relight my faith in Marvel, and it'll bring a lot of black people that love this stuff
Mm-hmm.
back into the fold.
100%. And Dewan said their marriage didn't last long. Exactly. But you don't have to follow that, right?
Mhm.
This is the MCU. We say it all the time. It's not the comic books. So if they're going to go that route, they can keep them married. Now, I get it. It's going to be hard to keep them married when you have Storm a part of the X-Men and T'Challa's usually in Wakanda or whatever. But hey,
No, but you can understand. They say you have your thing, I have my
mhm.
thing, and we'll continue to come together. And he's like, my queen has returned. Things like that, like
Yes,
she
yes,
feels like my queen
yes.
has returned, and they enjoy that their time together, and then they let them go and do that stuff anyway. So you can do these things and not have it change much. It
I
works. The Civil War comic book run is a long one. It's a long run. Thank you, Hudley, for doing it. And I'm telling you that we can make this go further in the MCU. I can't wait for that. But we gotta get to another one because you know how every topic for me will always come back to T'Challa.
Yeah, when it came up, I was like, "Uh-oh, guys, we're gonna end the show here on T'Challa because it ain't going nowhere further than that." Maria Garcia said, first black family in the MCU. Facts. And if they do that, give it to us right. You know what I mean? Don't do the stereotype black family stuff that they're always doing in
No
these movies.
tropes. Just
Yeah.
let two powerful couples be together. Let the two powerful beings be together and enjoy. And then we could see them grow up. And that could be part of the MCU, putting black positivity instead of destroying Wakanda. You remember how excited everyone was for Wakanda was when everyone's
Mm,
doing Wakanda forever and everything. And
facts.
then they destroy the family. They eliminate everybody. The king, the
Facts. Yeah.
mom,
The
T'Challa.
queen.
They kill everybody.
Hmm.
They're like everybody's dead, the most
Hmm.
powerful nation. Well, now you can rebuild it and keep it in the storyline. Let's go.
Agreed. Dewan said, I want Storm with Magneto or Doctor Doom. No,
No,
no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Angela Bassett didn't have to die. You are
she
correct.
didn't.
Luke Cage and Jessica Jones don't mean anything. They're
They're
not a
not both
black
black.
family, though. Yeah, yeah. You know what I
They will be
mean?
married, but they're not both black.
Yeah, exactly. They don't follow the comics anywhere, exactly.
100%.
Or Storm with Luke Cage. So first off, I don't like Mike Coulter, so we don't want him with any Storm. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No electric slide. No chicken at
Chicken.
the wedding. No watermelon food tray. No jumping over the broom. Facts,
Oh
Danny.
man.
You are 100% correct.
Everyone gets avocado on toast.
give us give us a great black African wedding.
Oh my
That
god.
would be so great to have. Go great to heart. He said, that's going to be hard. Just saying. No, I get it, Danny. 100%. But guys, let us know what you think as we move on to the next topic. And we got some other stuff we're going to discuss. So let's get into that right now. All right, guys. So for the next topic we got going on here, which is something I thought that would be interesting to talk about because I know streaming has been taken over. So I said, let's talk about the streaming numbers. Let's talk about the shows on the streaming number. Now, what I found here was
Once
by
again,
each category. Yeah, go ahead.
K-pop Demon Hunters. I told you,
Yeah.
K-pop Demon Hunters is ruling the world right now. Come on, K-pop. Do you know how
Ha-
big it is musically? Come on, man.
have you watched it?
I watched it twice. Yeah,
Is it
it's okay.
really that good?
It's okay.
Because, okay, because I
It's
know
like
it's the.
having
Yeah, go ahead.
anime, with a lot of K-pop stuff, and then I mean the music is fine too. If you like Korean pop, the music is good, but the Demon Hunter part of it is pretty good too. The storyline is not that bad. I could definitely see people that from the ages of 12 to 22 really love
Hmm.
it. I can see it 100%.
And I know some adults that really love it too as well, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh, this is great. Watch it. I haven't watched it yet because you guys know that I'm not a huge anime fan. But when I found out that it was produced by the guys who made the Spider Verse, I was like, oh, that could be very interesting because I love the way they put a story together. You know what I mean? I don't know how the animation looks, but I think when
It
it
looks
comes
good.
to
It looks
it
good.
looks good, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it to me when I think about animation, I think Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse are top tier, hands down. I love what they did with it. I still think that those two are the best Spider Man movies ever created. So
I can
we
agree
get
with that. I mean, Spider-Man 2 is a great movie, but man, I
Mhm.
enjoy those so much more.
Absolutely. So the streaming movies on Netflix right now, K-pop Demon Hunter, The Thursday Murder Club, Fall for
Mhm.
Me, Abandoned Men,
The
The
Northman came out a
Northman.
long time ago. The fact that it's still out there is crazy.
I never watched it. Have you watched any of these yet?
I've watched Welcome to Sudden Death. I watched The Thursday Murder Club. I've seen the K-pop. I've seen Ma. I saw Ma. So
Yeah, the reason why I asked is because you guys watch everything. So just
yeah.
to let you know what I mean? Uh Planet Single, Greek Adventure, Two Hearts, Ma, Welcome to Sudden Death, The Art of Racing in the Rain.
I heard
Interesting.
that one was pretty interesting too. So
Really.
mhm.
I haven't checked out any of these, but I definitely want to check out some of these. Now, as for the shows on Netflix, we have My Life with the Walter Boys,
I did not watch
Hostage,
that.
Wednesday.
I definitely
Yeah,
watched Wednesday. I definitely watched
I,
Wednesday.
Wednesday came out a while ago, so still being at number 3 is really good. You know what I mean? I think it
So
was.
the second one is about to be released Tuesday or Thursday of this week. The second part of season 2.
Oh, it's this week.
Mm-hmm. It's coming out soon.
Oh,
So like,
okay.
so
So
Wednesday still being up there after being released what 4 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks ago, knowing that we're going to get another one next. As I said, like 3 or 4 days.
yeah, it's gonna jump it right
That's going to
back
be
to
number
number 1.
one. When we look at this
Number
next
1.
week, this is going to be number one.
Yeah, agreed. Bon appetit, Your Majesty, Katrina, Come Hell and High Water,
Mhm.
Rivers of Fate, Beyond the Bar, Love is Blind UK. Love is Blind is really on the
I
top
can't.
10? Wow. Ugh.
I
Well,
can't.
you know what that is, right? You know that is, that's the women watching that, and the men get
Uh,
stuck watching it because the women like it.
when my wife is watching stuff like that, I'm just looking at my phone, like, all right, I want, or I'll get my iPad, I'm gonna start reading a book or something like that. I'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
one of my books and start reading that.
Listen, I can't lie. Some of them are very interesting. I can't lie about that. Not Love is
Nope,
Blind. Not really a
I'm
fan of
not
that
getting
one.
into it.
But
I'm not getting into it
but
because if you
but
get stuck, you're gonna be stuck forever.
oh yeah, I got stuck on Temptation Island, boy, and I was like, oh. Every time a new one comes out, I'm watching it. Like, yeah, you once you get stuck, you get stuck. So be careful. And then rounding out the top 10 in the mud. Now we're gonna get to the HBO. We're gonna get to TV show streaming on there. The first one is Peacemaker.
No doubt.
It just came out. People are liking it, I guess, or watching it. It's a popular
It's
IP.
still DC. And when you're
Yeah,
talking about DC shows, people are going to run to it, flock to it. So I have no problem with that being number one. I think it's going to be number one throughout its entire run through October.
I agree. I agree. As long as they do it every week, it's going to be number one. We have the Gilded Age. Never heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel, the Wolf of God. Shania, Shania, yeah, whatever. You guys know I can't read, right? So Bahar, Spy X Family. Now this one is
Yeah.
surprising to
You know,
me. Twisted Metal is number 8. King and Conquer, and then the Gilmore Girls. I'm
Gilmore
disappointed.
Girls. Do you know how long Girls has been out?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah, and
understand
it's
that
still
it's
in top
still
10.
in the top 10?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This one here, Twisted Metal, we got to get that up higher, guys. We got to get that higher up higher. It's really good. I don't know about the rest of these shows on the list, but even being in the top 10 gives me hope that we're going to get a season 3. You know what I mean? It's up there. It's popular. I don't know what the P for there for or the H is at the end of those, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be something that's going to be really good
I
if we
think it's a
get another
connected.
season.
It's a connected thing. So like, if it's not really released on HBO, but it's connected to it. So
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll just do one more, and then we'll
do the
move into
top
the.
movies on Disney Plus. That's what I really want to talk about.
Yeah, let's do the top movies on Disney Plus. So number 1 is the Thunderbolts. Number 2 is the Incredibles 2. Number 3
Oh
is
wow.
Lego Disney Princess Villains Unite.
Yep. Oh,
Number
my kids
4 is
love that one.
really is good.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids love it. It's not for me, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. The Incredibles,
Mhm,
Fantastic Four: First Steps, A Special Look, Freaky Friday, Captain
mhm,
America: Brave New
mm,
World, Eeny
mhm.
Meeny, Rio, and Up. Go ahead with your thoughts, Brian.
What's interesting about this list is that Incredibles 2, The Incredibles, and Fantastic Four First Steps are all in top 10. When Fantastic Four gets to Disney Plus, it's going to blow up.
Agreed.
Fantastic Four is going to have more streams. I think it might shut the system down. It might just shut it all
Mhm.
down. You won't be able to even continue to watch it because everyone and their mom is going to be watching it. So now when you look at these box office numbers that we talked about earlier, right? And you
Mhm.
say, why is that not being reflected in the box office? That's exactly because people know they can wait and see it on Disney Plus 2, 3 months later. I'm going to have it at home. So why am I paying extra money to go see it in the movie theater? That's part of the problem.
100 100%. And it's funny that you say that too, right? Because number 2 is Invincibles 2, and that's been out for how
Incredibles
long?
for no,
Incredibles 2, yeah,
no,
sorry.
Incredibles number 4 has been out for 20 years.
Facts.
but,
Facts.
but
And
once
it's
again,
still
that's really the Fantastic Four.
yeah,
That's what that's
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
Incredibles 2, that's really the Fantastic Four. So now imagine what's going to happen when it comes to streaming. It's going to be streamed
Agreed.
everywhere.
Agreed, 100%. We'll actually do the TV shows too because I think there's some popular
Alien
stuff on
Earth.
there too, right? We'll do the Disney TV shows and then we'll move on to the next topic. So number 1 is Alien Earth, number 2 is The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox, number 3 is High Potential, number 4 is 12, number 5 is Stalking Samantha: 13 Years of Terror, number 6 Grey's
Grey's
Anatomy,
Anatomy still. Come on, bro. Grey's Anatomy,
Modern Family as
Modern
well.
Family. Come on. You know what's funny though? I was watching Modern Family last night.
Bluey, Breakdown, and How I Met Your Mother. Now, here's a question I want to ask too, because we know Alien Earth, that's new and stuff. That's going to be number one. People are liking it. You know what I mean? But is this because they're not putting enough new content on Disney Plus? Why you still see things like Grey's Anatomy and Modern Family and Incredibles on there? Or is it because these things are so good that people just got to go back and watch them again?
I think people have Disney Plus. I don't think Disney Plus does enough with TV shows. They don't put a
Hmm.
lot of good TV shows out there, and I think it's going to change when Hulu shuts down.
Yeah,
So right now,
agree.
look at you see Hulu is Alien Earth. Hulu is the Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox. And Hulu is Stalking Samantha. Hulu is
Hmm.
is Breakdown. So I think Hulu is the one that has all the good TV shows.
I got you.
So if you push it all on just Disney Plus, so now you're giving an audience who's not used to looking for Hulu stuff into that. I think these numbers are going to naturally go up and move up.
So they're planning on getting rid of Hulu and
Hulu will
incorporating it with Disney? Ooh.
2026 Hulu will be done. So I have Hulu for my live TV. Hulu will
Mhm.
go away totally, and it'll all be Disney Plus.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, those are the numbers. We're definitely going to get into the next topic. But first, we're going to go through your comments, right? Because the main topic is something really good. I think you guys stay tuned. You're going to love it. We'll get through the comments and then we'll move on to the next topic. Eli said, oh, we read that one already. Here. Tank said, it's going to be a slow, not too slow build. Bring in both characters and separately and have them meet, and their love working together saves the day in a movie. Love it. Love it, Tank. I agree with you 100%. Give us a slow burn. Have them meet in a movie, and you
Mm-hmm.
can see,
You
like,
want to see their like you see their
the
stars
eyes
orbit each other.
connection. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. It's
yeah,
just all of a
yeah.
sudden, and then when it finally comes together, it's going to be so rewarding for the audience. And now it's a staple in the entire universe. So they wanted to really base a lot of stuff on Chadwick Boseman. They couldn't do it all, right? So why
Hmm.
don't you go ahead and put it on this character? Now we got T'Challa, the real T'Challa, the character. So now you have them kind of orbiting, and then when they finally connect, it's going to be the culmination of
Epic.
all these years, and you're going to love it. People are going to love it, and it'll be the biggest staple in all this thing, and it could continue forever because you won't deal with young actors.
Agreed. I love it. I love it. Danny said, "Bro, y'all are killing it. Appreciate it, Danny.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it,
it.
man.
We actually put in a lot of work for this. You know what I mean? Like all for 2 weeks. Even
We've been
last night, we're
talking.
getting yeah. So and I think our first show was pretty good. We're gonna have a little bugs up and down, but I think as we progress, it's gonna get a lot better. So I appreciate that, Donnie. I appreciate it. Originally, Wolverine and Storm was supposed to be a couple in the first X-Men movie. Deleted scene where Storm kisses Wolverine.
Hmm.
So
That's true. And it's in the comic
I
book. Storm was with a lot of people in the comic book. And I didn't like how they did her in a lot of the comic books
mhm,
because they're just almost like she's going from person to person to person. And let's not do that. Let's not soil another
yeah.
person's most powerful black woman character ever created. Let's not do that. Let's figure out a way that we can really just lift her up. I would love that.
I agree. And you know what? To be honest with you, if they ever do that, I think the best time to do that would be in an age of apocalypse. Because if you remember the comic, they were
Mm,
together in there, right? And
yep.
it's a totally different universe that doesn't last long. And you could say that whatever happened to T'Challa in that universe got killed, and
Or he wasn't
Wolverine and
there.
Storm, or he, right, yeah, we don't want to kill him off again, right?
No more killing T'Challa, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
No
we don't want
more.
to kill him off. We don't want to kill him off again. But you could find some way to say, maybe the reason why um Storm and Wolverine are together is because their Jean Grey's gone, T'Challa's
They're the
gone,
last. They're the
and they
two
have
last.
that connection. Yeah, they have that connection, right? So that's definitely something interesting that I think they could do. But I want an Age of Apocalypse. I really want them to adapt Age of Apocalypse. And I don't want them to do it in one movie. I think you could do Age of Apocalypse in a whole phase. You know what I mean?
100%.
And then
Once X-Men takes over, you can really run with it.
agreed. Agreed. Said last few films I saw was Stan, Hungry. Later, y'all. Thank you for
Easy
popping
to
in.
lie.
Much appreciated. How does one miss details of a movie that hasn't been released yet? That's a good question. Peace. Eli said, I love anime. It's great to see it getting mainstream love. You
Yeah,
know
you
what?
want it.
For
Mhm.
Yeah, for all of you anime fans out there, it's good, right? Because the popular it gets, the more anime stuff you guys are gonna get. If they see that it's making money, not to mention the fact that they may decide, hey, a lot of these things can go to theater instead of going straight to streaming. So
We're
you
going to
got
see, like,
it's
I mean, One Piece is about to blow up when that's being released. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be released as anime that people will start to see. They have good storylines, man.
absolutely. Spider-Man 2 is GOAT of all Spider-Man movies. I said that until Spider-Verse, bro. I love Spider-Verse.
I understand it too, though. It is. It's great, but
hmm
I just Spider Verse is awesome. It's Spider-Man 2 is the best live. Damn, exactly what
Yeah,
you said right
yeah,
there.
like Tank said. Spider-Man 2 best live action movies. Spider-Man Miles Morales are the
Wow,
best. I,
the
I
best
agree.
movies.
Yeah,
They're just the best.
yeah,
It's just nothing
yeah.
better. But you could do more with animation that you can't do with live action. You just can't.
Agreed, 100%. I saw that deleted scene, Storm and Wolverine would have been very interesting. I guess for the time, yeah, but I don't want to see that anymore. We gotta move past that. We'd say is very good. Oh, we'd say it is very good. I got
Yeah,
you. I'm sad the Sandman isn't in the top 10.
I understand
Um,
that too. Hmm.
the first two episodes are dope, and just like that is a continuation of Sex in the City. I'm trapped in that storm with my wife.
Hey, respect. That's all I got to say. Respect.
The Gilmore Girls is one of the best shows.
Hmm.
Thunderbolts is killing it on streaming. Yeah, but
No,
you
so
see,
this has
that's
been months. This has been months.
yeah,
So Thunderbolts didn't even make what over $420 million. They didn't
yes,
even make over
yes,
420 and but
yes,
it's killing on streaming because you knew you could just wait for streaming. Now
yes.
imagine if you didn't have to worry about that.
And guys, get ready because that is going to be a part of the next topic that we have once we get through the comments here. And I appreciate the comments, guys, really and truly. You know what I mean? Like we said, we're gonna do this 10 o'clock in the morning. Weren't sure what kind of crowd we were gonna get. We guys are killing it over there. So big up to the chat. Thank you very much, much appreciated. The Thunderbolts number one. No wonder Kevin Feige wants Jake Schreider to direct the X-Men. I think he wants him to direct the X-Men because the one thing I will say that he did good was the chemistry between the characters. I think he was able to give them each certain light and give them
Mhm.
enough screen time to make it happen. What do you
And he
think?
had adult storyline. And I think that that's going to be very important going forward.
Absolutely. It's a remake of a British show. Those comfort shows are always going to have numbers. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yes,
Exactly.
man, How I Met Your Mother is awesome, man. I got the whole box set down. Thanks for giving me a couple of those, man.
It's about a single mom who is a genius and she is now a consultant with the LAPD. It's very entertaining.
I actually, yeah, the high
Absolutely.
potential one. Yeah, I know all
Yeah,
about that one. Yeah,
great idea. Angela Bassett should have been Storm in the original
a
X-Men movie.
billion
Hands
percent.
down,
I would. The fact that Holly
100%.
Berry was Storm and not Angela Bassett is a crime, and someone should be arrested and put in jail.
And the reason why they do that, I know we're going on a little bit, but the reason why they do that is because at the time it was more about which actor was popular, and Halle Berry was popular at the time, right? Like Angela Bassett was like dying down. She wasn't really doing that
Oh
much,
man, Tina
but
Turner, what's love had to do with it?
oh
Waiting to
yeah,
that
fire,
jail.
yeah, yeah,
She was
yeah, yeah.
doing movies too, but when it is, I think it had a lot to do with the skin tone of that
Oh
era.
yeah, yeah,
And that's
yeah, yeah. That
always a
too.
problem. When you look at someone who's lighter than someone who's a little bit darker, she's not darker. She's just a little bit. She's chocolate.
Yeah,
And when
yeah,
you look at that, they didn't want that, and they didn't think that people were going to follow, and they were wrong. You were wrong.
absolutely. Absolutely. I want to see Omega level Storm maybe in Secret Wars. Me too. Me too. Because when X-Men 97 came on and Storm had that little one scene and the Sentinel was like Omega level threat and she turned the sand to to glass, imagine that in a real live action.
Yeah,
I
but they
mean,
didn't.
I
Even X-Men '97, I really liked it. I don't think they gave us enough Storm. I think they
agreed.
sidelined her way too much. So that's why I
Agreed.
can't even say that as much. But they should have been hyping her from the beginning.
Agreed. 100%
But if they're
agreed.
going to
I
start
think
off with younger people, let them do it. That's fine.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's amp it up. And I want to get to a point where her powers are out of control. Then she finally learns how to calm them down, and then she's the
Mhm.
most powerful thing out there. Let's do
Facts.
that.
Facts. Because one thing, and I think that especially the movies, they downplayed her power really bad, right? Not
Like
one.
it takes
The
5 hours for her to power up. Like what are we doing, guys?
and I'm gonna say this because I know the movie is trash, guys. But Dark Phoenix, the end when Storm went off in the end of Dark Phoenix, that was Storm. You know what I mean?
She
That
should have
was
been doing that.
Storm
She should have been
from
doing
the
that from the
beginning.
beginning. Yeah,
I agreed.
she's Thor, but better.
Agreed. 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 I want them to showcase Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister should be a heavy threat in the Marvel Cinematic Universe when they bring in the X-Men. I would love to see a live action
Mr.
live
Sinister.
action Mr. Sinister. Yeah. Have Apocalypse be the saga villain like Thanos. Exactly.
That's what I'm
Exactly,
talking
Ty.
about. That would be, and you
100%.
earn the villain. You understand his point of view and just know it's wrong, and you earn that growth.
100%. Because you could start off, right? You have the X-Men in there, we established the X-Men, who they are, and then maybe in, I guess, the big X-Men movie at the end, because we know how it works in the comic. Legion, his son, comes back in time to kill Magneto and accidentally kills Professor X. And then when you get the next movies, you get a full phase of Age of Apocalypse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when they gave us that little tease of Wolverine in Deadpool and Deadpool and Wolverine with the missing hand from Age of Apocalypse, I was excited. I was like, "Ooh, give us that!" So I really hope they do something like that.
Yeah, that's talking about some of the stuff we're going to talk about this next topic. I got a huge thing about that.
Live action Dragon Ball Z, yeah,
Dude,
they
if
got to
they
do
could
it
do
better
that,
than
oh my god, but it has to be good. I don't,
yeah,
I
it
don't,
has
I
to
don't
be
want that bull crap that they had before.
facts. 100%. Storm is my favorite X-Men. Mine too. Mine too. Storm's been has been fighting gods lately. Yeah, and I read somewhere in the comic where they and I know Brian will know this because he knows the comic, but something where they killed her and then she came back with this godlike power,
But
and
she
they called her
already
like
had,
Goddess Storm.
but you realize she's a god, but she's always been a goddess, and that was always her in like her end goal. Like so, Thor is your Thor Odinson. He becomes his
Hmm.
god. for Storm, she becomes a goddess and she becomes all powerful. I wish I have the comic book somewhere in these 2 stacks of comics I have right here, but I can't grab it right now. So we'll get to that. Maybe we might even give me a 10-minute segment on some comic books.
Oh yeah, we could do that. 100%. It's very good idea.
I
Very good
wouldn't mind
idea.
talking about some of this Mr. Terrific stuff.
So we'll do the next topic, and then we'll end it with a 10-minute segment where Brian talks about his comic books, and we'll add that into the stream. I know Mike will appreciate that one. I think Storm was a herald of Galactus in the storyline, if I'm not mistaken. I think at one point she was too, or maybe
She
she
does
got
have
access
access.
to Thor's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That she had
to
in What If. And what if she did?
Eternal Storm. That's it. Mr. Sinister was getting set up to be the next villain in the New Mutants and Logan before Disney bought Fox. I didn't like the New Mutants movie, right?
No.
But again, at the end of the day, I think we definitely do
You
need
just
to
want these
get
storylines. You want, I
Mr.
mean, these
Sinister.
storylines. These storylines can be
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. Thank you guys. Much appreciated. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know how you feel about the box office numbers. Do you think that their shows should be higher or lower? Which ones have you seen? We are going to move on to the next topic.
Let's go.
So let's go.
Give me that
All
Avengers Doomsday one. Do that one. Do the last one.
The last one?
Yeah, the Avengers Doomsday one.
Oh, yes, this one here. There we go.
All right. So I know some of you guys might be a little tired of hearing about Doomsday, but this last one, it was pretty epic. So Robert Downey Jr. threatened to quit Avengers as Deadpool rumors heat up. What?
Ooh.
Okay. So I'm just going to read you this article a little bit so we can I'll understand where I'm coming from. It's claimed that things are going poorly at Avengers Doomsday. Not only have the Thunderbolts actors allegedly clashed on set, but Robert Downey Jr. has even threatened to quit if the script isn't fixed. The report comes as new rumors circulate that the script has been scrapped and is being rewritten by the Deadpool team.
Wow.
Okay. Following the claims about the Thunderbolts actor, YouTuber Domcock continues to report the alleged troubles at Avengers Doomsday, saying that the movie script has been tossed out entirely. Saying, according to our sources, a draft of the latest script of Doomsday is so bad that the writers are being forced to leave and new writers are coming in. Disney is reportedly taking control. Allegedly, Robert Downey Jr. himself is making the calls. He has threatened to walk away from the movie if Disney doesn't redo this. What do you think about that?
You know what? It's funny because the Russo brothers are writing this movie, no?
Yep. Well, a lot of it, they have script writers still going to it. So it's a lot of stuff happening. So according to these sources in the script, they rejected the movie was going to be heavily female, including female characters for every male character in the movie. And they kind of got rid of it, got going away from that. So I'm just saying, I'm not worried about that as much as I'm worried about the script being rewritten on the run. That's what I'm always worried about. I think that they need to have a script and they need to stick to it. I don't want to go down the Star Wars problem. You know, when you're going towards the storyline and you said, no, we're just going to scrap that idea. And then we get these two crappy movies at the end of, at the end. I don't want that anymore. But we've been hearing a lot of problems on this Doomsday set. We've heard actors that are ready to fight each other. We've heard actors that are filming scenes that they're supposed to be doing together, away from each other. It's all happening. So this is becoming a little bit of a cluster. This is another reason why sometimes you want unknown, no-name actors. I know what Marvel's doing. We just talked about earlier about bringing these big A-list actors in for these movies. But when you have people with these egos, that can really ruin this entire movie. And it seems like that's what's going on right now.
And you know what's funny? Because I know a lot of people, and even me included, I was like, Robert Downey Jr. as Doom? Like, we already know what kind of actor he is, right? Like, he wants to make sure that everything is perfect around him. So he's going to have an issue. Like, let's say, like you said, the Russo brothers have the script that he don't feel is correct or he likes. He's going to have them change certain things about it, right? Now, the fact that they're actually throwing away the whole script and writing and doing it on the fly is extremely concerning, because that's what happened with the reshoots with all these movies like Brave New World and stuff like that, right? Like I guess Brave New World got a little bit further into the shoots and stuff, but
But
they
that's
had to
because
reshoot.
because of the stuff that was going on, they had to reshoot and stuff. It didn't sound like a
Yes.
good storyline. I don't think that's what's going on right now, though. I do think what they're doing is certain areas of the film, because we have 3 or 4 different storylines going on in Doomsday. I think certain
Hmm.
parts of the film are not what they wanted, and it's not something.
Hmm.
RDJ is not getting the focus that he wants. And I mean, we've heard about him ask for reshooting for of 3 weeks because at first he was not going to be in the suit in Doomsday suit, and
Yeah.
he was just reading the all the lines. He was just reading them,
Hmm.
and then he
Hmm.
said, "No, we need to scrap these last 3 weeks because I need to get in the suit because it's not working for me anymore." So that's three
And
weeks
not
of filming that they just scrapped. But that's because he has this ego and he has this part. And so he should just be doing we need a director that's going to be able to control these
facts.
egos.
Facts. And it's funny too because I even read something somewhere where he was complaining about the mask not being comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., right? We know he's not going to be in the mask through the whole thing, right? You don't get an actor like that if you just plan to keep him in the Dooms mask. Where I'm with you, you get a younger dude in there. You don't have the diva mentality, and you can keep someone in the Doomsday mask because Doomsday doesn't really show his face. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't show his face. He's always has the mask. And we get to mystery of why his face, what's underneath the mask. And I think that's one of the things that they should really do in Doomsday. Don't give us his face. Let us know why he wears the mask. Like, and to give us maybe a reveal at the end. But if it's just going to be Robert Downey Jr. just taking off the mask every willy nilly, I'm not sure how
Well,
I feel about
I
that.
I think he needs to be the actor, and I think that he needs to do those things. He needs to be the one actually doing it because I want to see him give life to the character. They went away from that in Iron Man, right? Remember after Civil
Mhm.
War, basically everything became AI, CG, because that's why he started using the dots instead of having the practical
Yeah.
effects. And that's when the movie started to get not as good. I think part of it needs to be in the Doom costume. Maybe he takes off the mask, whatever, some often and has scars on his
Mhm.
mask, but he needs to be in the Doom costume, actually acting. That's gonna be a real
Agree.
big part of this. And if this movie does not hit, if this movie does not make I'm bill 15 or 1.5 bill, things like that, Marvel's really up a creek. They're putting all this money into it.
Yeah.
They bring all these characters in it. If people don't want to go see this is gonna be a
Yeah.
problem.
And we already know that Robert Downey Jr.'s pay is probably taking a huge chunk of the budget, right? Because I think what was like 20 something million, if not more, that he got for Endgame. Endgame was how many years ago? So he's going to be upped his ante right now. He's probably going to get paid more to come back as Doom. And it's like you said, right? So we're talking about if this movie doesn't perform well. Well, will it make $1 billion if it's only in theaters for 45 days?
Exactly. That's the biggest issue, guys. So now, what we talked about earlier, if in game made I think 1.8 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, in game made 2 billion,
Two billion, yeah.
2 billion. You know, but it was in theaters. I checked it out for almost 4 months, and then it was re-released
Mm-hmm.
like he
Mm-hmm.
did old school. That's when you're making all this money.
Yep.
We have all these problems in Doomsday right now. And then we talk about how box offices are going. If that continues, will we have a problem? Will Marvel have a chance of making $1 billion if you only have it for 30 days? Or do they need to
It could.
change the way they're looking at it?
I think they need to change the way they're looking at it. And you know why I think they because a lot of these movies, they make a chunk of their money in the first couple of weeks, right? And then it kind of dies down. And then I guess oh, this movie is still popping off after 3 weeks, so maybe we'll extend it longer. But what they do is they tell you ahead of time, hey guys, this movie's gonna be in streaming in 30. No, you don't do that. You let the
Mm-hmm.
movie play out. You don't tell people when it's going to come on streaming because we never knew back in the day when it was coming out. It was just like, oh, hey guys, boom, movies on DVD, movies on this, right? You need to do that. If you stop telling people that the movies are going to come out 45 days after a theatrical release, then people are like, well, maybe I might have to wait longer, so I should go see this. you know? And then I promise you, when you hit that 45 day and it hasn't come out on streaming or video on demand,
now you have to go.
we're gonna
You
run and go
have
see
to make
this
the movie
movie.
theater. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we're gonna go run go see this movie, you know? So it's kind of interesting
Well,
that
you kind of touched on it. Robert Downey Jr. is going to make $100 million from this movie.
ugh,
That's one actor.
yeah,
You have to make $1 billion, and if it doesn't, this is the end. This will be the end of what we have in the MCU. They will not be doing the same thing,
agreed.
and I don't want these type of movies to end. I do think that it's time to reboot. I do. You need a soft reboot. You
Mhm.
need new characters. You need, the ones that are going to have money problems. You need to reboot all that stuff.
Absolutely.
But this could be the end of what we need to get somewhere, and we won't get there if this doesn't make money.
Absolutely, 100%. Not to mention the fact that, people ain't really going to theaters much anymore anyways, right? You
Yeah.
got to be very careful which movies you put out, which movies, even where you place the movies at certain points. You got to be careful because we've seen what happened with Jurassic World Rebirth, Fantastic Four, Superman. Jurassic World's gonna Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact, right?
Dinosaurs
But
do dinosaur thing, but even Jurassic World was pulled after 30 days.
and didn't hit a billion. And didn't hit a billion. Now that could be because of two reasons. Because you had two movies that followed it that were
Mm-hmm.
popular movies, right? If you put it in a month where you don't have these movies coming out for at least 30 days, then you're going to be making more money and you still have opportunity to go longer than 45 days, bro.
Jurassic
I
World
don't
would have made $1 billion if they held it in the theater for 2 months. If you had it in the
Yeah,
theater for 2 months during this time right now, when there's nothing huge going out,
facts.
it would be in a second run of money. If you would have left it in the
Facts.
theater for 2 months, it would have made a bill. If you would did the same Superman, we left it in for 2 months, it would have made $850 million. If you Fantastic Four, if you pushed it for 2 straight months, this would have made 600, $700 million. But you have to do that.
Hmm.
You
And
have to
think
push.
about it. From from like Danny said in August, right? What have we really gotten
Nothing.
after Fantastic Four was the last one to come out? After Fantastic Four came out, what have we really gotten? Fantastic Four should have came out when they took it out of theaters. Right? When they took it out of theaters, that's the date it should have came out. Should have came out this month. Right? There's nothing. And I don't see anything coming in the future. So you have about a 2 month stretch where it's just Fantastic Four, guys. I think they need to rethink some of the models and the way they do things, man. I really do.
100%. 100%. I mean, we're looking at it now, and it's just not working. But I do want to get the other side before we get out of here.
Hmm.
Um, the the reason why you don't keep it in theater is because when you put it in a theater, you have to split the money with the theater.
Yeah.
When you go to streaming, you own the streaming service. That's all money in your pocket. When you put it on demand on the TV, that's going right to your pocket.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
all of a sudden, all these, you don't have to split. So I mean, the box office numbers are kind of, I mean, they're numbers, they're the right numbers, but you don't think about that's how all they're making. And if you can make
Hmm.
money directly, makes more sense.
Absolutely. And to the point, bro, where I could see, like you said, when we were talking about theaters becoming obsolete, I could
Mm-hmm.
see it getting to a point where it's just like, hey, we're just gonna put these movies on demand. You pay 40, $50 for the movie and you get it for like a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get it for a day because and I think what the real reason why they haven't done it is because you have to compensate for a household, right? If you go to the theater, every single member has to pay. But when it comes to a household, if you have a family of five, you're only paying $50 and everybody in that movie is paying it, right? So
Yep.
you're losing it. So I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't really went to that model yet
It's gonna
until
happen.
they Oh yeah,
5 years from
100%.
now, exactly what you said is going to
100%.
happen. You're going to have, because people are going to have 80, 90-inch TVs, and they're going to say, you
Yeah.
want the movie when it comes out, the day it comes out, you can have it at home, and all you got to do is
Mhm.
pay $49.99. It's going to happen.
Exactly. And then what you do is you pay 49.99, you have
You
it
get it for
for a week,
24
right?
hours. You get it for
Right.
24 hours for $49.99.
Right. And then if you want to see it again, because all these streaming service keeps record of what you have, what you get. So if you want to see it again, now maybe you get to watch it at half price for the second time. You know what I mean? Second time you pay $25, you get to watch
Mhm.
it. You know, and I would say drop it, no, but after the first time you pay the $50, and then after that, if you want to watch it a third time, pay $25.
It's
You know,
$25
that's
every time afterwards. Yeah.
every time after. That's pretty much the price of a ticket. And you have people who watching these movies three, four, five times. If you have it in the your privacy of your own home, yeah, sure, I could watch it every week for $25. I'd rather spend the $25 there than spend $100 in the theater.
You have to be
So
very careful though, because if that happens, there will be the death of theaters.
oh, 100%. 100%. And I think we're going to go to that route sooner or later, to be honest with you. But guys, that was the final topic. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to get to the comments real quick. And then we're going to do the special that we decided to do, the 10 minutes of Brian talking
Just
about his comics.
I don't need
Yeah,
5. I just want to talk about what came out this week in comics, and let's start looking at some of these things and understand how some of these comic books are fire and how they look.
absolutely. Absolutely. Danny once again said the show is fire. Danny, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? It's always a pleasure. He said Robert Downey Jr. versus Ryan Reynolds. Are they having an issue?
Yeah, so that was the argument was supposedly be between them. The one that that they were going to fight. It's because
Uh-huh.
RDJ is trying to control everything.
Yeah. You could
Ryan
tell.
Reynolds
You
ain't
could
doing
tell.
that. He's like, I'm
Yeah, you
Canadian. I
could
ain't gonna
tell.
let you control this.
But you, you already know we don't do that. We don't let you guys run things. But it kind of coincides with Wesley Snipes not liking Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean?
I
So
think RDJ is the problem. I'll have a problem if I did film for 3 weeks and you
mhm.
told me because you didn't want to get in the suit before and you want re-film all the scenes. Nah, man,
Mm.
we would have a
Yeah,
problem,
no,
bro.
no, I agree with you. I think it's Robert Downey Jr. 100%. I think when it comes to these major big actors, I think they kind of have this ego, like you said, where oh, I'm the one people are wanting to see. I was the first one that they brought out when they announced it, so I'm the star
This
of
is
this. I
my
could definitely
movie,
see that. Yeah,
$100 million. This is my
yeah,
movie. You're gonna do what
yeah.
I say. Well, but people matter, man. You can't just treat them like they don't.
Absolutely, I could see that. Said, I saw this on the Tyrone Magnus channel. This is very concerning.
Mhm.
Doomcock. Yeah, Doomcock. Which I've been told I have a couple of, you know what I mean? A couple times I've been told I have a Doomcock. So I just put it that way. The drama
Uh,
continues for the MCU. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What they're still fighting, at least they have passion for the work. Yeah, they do, but
it
if it's
could
gonna
ruin.
cause rewrites and everything like that, yeah, it's definitely it could ruin this movie. And people are excited for these movies.
Mhm.
Once they start hearing about rewrites and reshoots and rescripts, there it's gonna be like, oh, this is gonna be another Brave New World. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Yeah. So it's gonna be very messy. Danny said, "I'm shocked. I thought the Russo brothers would be better prepared to pull RDJ back into this." Yeah, and I think when they
He's a
did
big
Endgame,
guy. It's hard
yeah,
seeing, and you can't control him. I mean, he's going to be hard. These are stars, and you
mhm,
don't become a star without having a big ego. That's just the truth. Is
100%. The only thing I have is Robert Downey Jr. needs to remember if it wasn't for the MCU, though, his star value would not be as popular as it is again, right? Because he was nowhere to be seen until they casted him as Iron Man. So be humble and do what you got to do, bro. That's all I'm saying, you know? And maybe to be fair, maybe the script isn't that good, right?
but
But
that's what
we
they do.
all
They go in with a script that can be rewritten, but they don't have to rewrite the whole thing. They don't have to rewrite the whole
100%.
thing.
100%. I guess this makes sense if RDJ wanted to reshoot the last 4 weeks, but I'm calling bullshit. Yeah, I agree,
Mhm.
Tank. If this movie isn't a home run, the MCU is in trouble. Big time.
I think
Big time.
movies could be in trouble.
100%. Because not just this one. If Doomsday doesn't do well, Secret Wars is not going to do well. right? Because they're one and the same. If Doomsday doesn't do well, people are gonna avoid Secret Wars. The
People are going to
regulars like
avoid
us,
possibly movie theaters altogether and saying that
in
I'm not
general,
going to. There's no point in me going to watch all these big movies. Maybe it might be good for healthy for the theater, but having big budget movies is what keeps the thing going. And sometimes you need those
agreed.
big budget ones.
I'll go more so than they are now. He said, "This is the reason they pushed it back a year." Yep, that is correct. Marvel shoots without finishing a script is madness to me. Me too.
100%.
Me too. Right? Because I get their thinking because they got a lot of stuff to do, so they got to get these animations right, the technology,
Yeah, the
the
CG
CGI.
it has to be because there's a lot of CG that I think in Fantastic Four that was missing.
Yeah,
It just
yeah,
didn't
one
look. The
hundred
baby
percent.
didn't look good at all. And Franklin Richards looked terrible.
Facts, facts. But then if that's the case, you get the strip done, right? Remember, there were steps to it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Script, casting,
It's still a
production.
movie.
Yeah, like let's get back to that. Stop trying to put things ahead of other things because even though that happens, you end up changing certain things, and you got to go back and switch to AGI, the CGI, and do this, and it just
Mhm.
gets crazy after that. Of course, the mask won't be comfortable. It's made for someone else. To me, to me, the MCU started to get not good with Guardians of the Galaxy. I hated all three. They had good music though. Stop it, Guardians were
I did
good. The
not.
second one was
I did
good.
not hate that. Yeah, that I don't.
Second one
The
wasn't
second
good.
one wasn't awesome, but I enjoyed all three. I thought the story was all good. I think James Gunn did a good job of making me care about those characters.
Agreed. Agreed. I think they're doing the right thing by letting Deadpool writers come in. They have to keep the comedy out of it and only sprinkle it here and there. Doom can't be funny as right. And the way the Dooms Wolverine, I'm sorry,
Deadpool,
Deadpool
Wolverine.
writers did Deadpool. It seems like they get his humor. So it makes sense that they come in just to write the Deadpool stuff. I'm okay with that.
I don't want. I honestly, I don't want them doing anything else. I don't want them. I don't want a funny Doomsday. I want it to be about
Yeah.
the story itself.
Agreed, agreed. And then if you sprinkle Deadpool doing little comedy here and there, that's fine. You know what I
It
mean?
could be
But
all doing stuff, with Loki or whatever.
yeah,
We heard about Captain America or Peggy Carter with Loki going to her house and he's creating his own team that he does because he doesn't trust the team that's out there. He's creating his own team throughout the multiverse. I think that would be interesting. You have in Deadpool be part of that with Wolverine being part of that and being that Captain
agreed,
America Nomad could be come in and be part of that too.
agreed, 100%. It wasn't very good. Fantastic Four should have come out in August. I agree. Danny with another $2 super chat. Thank you, Danny. Much appreciated. He said, Brian, I agree. Mr. Terrific would have made 800 million.
People were
We
just
got to
really
get
going out just for him. Mr. Terrific. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
we got to get a Mr. Terrific movie, not a TV show. Give us a movie, James Gunn. Give us a Mr. Terrific
Let's go,
movie.
Edie.
He said no for $49.99 one viewing, then $15 each additional viewing, up to 3 viewings. I could see that. I could see that. I think they were
I would just
trying to
give you
maximize.
think about what it is for pay-per-view. That's
Yeah,
what this is. This will be a
yeah,
pay-per-view event. It's
yeah.
$50 for a pay-per-view event. That's what you don't get. And you don't get 20, you get 24 hours of having that, and after that, it goes away.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. And then after that, yeah, 15 to 20 bucks a viewing. I could see that, Danny, 100% if you want to buy it again. As long as I got paid, I wouldn't care. Exactly. Wow, Doomcock is the name of the reporter that Brian was reading about in the article. Shaking my head. Yeah, Danny,
Yeah.
that's what's the name. That was his name. That was his name. But thank you guys. Appreciate it. Let us know what you guys think. We're going to move on to our final, 5-minute topic where Brian is going to talk about the comics that came out. So let's. Damn it, wrong view.
There you
There
go.
we go.
So this week in comics, guys, I go to comic book store every week, and of course I grab things I'm missing from my collection. I grab things that are just awesome. Today this week I actually saw X-Men #1 in Chicago Comics that I think is probably worth $60,000. So I
Mhm,
was amazed. But
mhm.
this week, so we have the Avengers that came out. Who's that? T'Challa. So I
Couldn't
will
wait
be
for that
reading
one.
this one so much. uh, the next one, yeah, bring on the bad guys. I think this is Dormammu. So each one of the bad guys are going to have their own comic book run. So that's going to be cool. Here's another one. So bring on the bad guys and Mephisto. These are all number
Interesting.
ones. Of course, we had the Deadpool Wolverine. I've been reading this entire run, so yeah, I'm enjoying that. This one's interesting. Death of the Silver Surfer. I think this is the third
Ooh.
one. If I'm right, I think this is the third one. Yep, because I have the other two were interesting. Yeah, him sacrificing himself is a good comic book. If you have a chance to read some of these, are fire. I'm going to get to the Imperial one, Imperial War in a second, but before I want to do that, I want to talk about this Doom. So they are really kind of trying to make money off of this Doom. So this is Doom 29. This is the first one. I haven't read it yet, but I saw it and I was like, okay, I gotta see it. I need to know where they're going. This is going to give you insight to what they're going to try to do with Doom going forward in these next two movies. So that's why I want to know a little bit more. That's why I'm going to after these ones. So now, Imperial War. I pulled up. There is a Black Panther one, and there's a Planet She-Hulk Imperial War. There's supposed to be more coming out for these. These are the first ones that dropped. I have not had a chance to read them yet, but that's what I'm gonna be doing as soon as we get done with this show. You know I'm gonna read the Black Panther one. Come on, man.
Facts.
You know
100%.
that.
I'm looking at those comics. They look good. It's like maybe I should start buying some of
Some of
these
these,
comics again.
be careful, but some of these are really good storylines, and this is probably one of my favorite ones so far.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man. There we go, bro.
We've had, so in the last 10 or 15 issues, we've had T'Challa in them.
Mm-hmm.
We've had Peter Parker in it. He's been doing a lot of things with it. It's so awesome. People need to be going out reading the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I was talking to my nephew the other day. He didn't even know about Peter Parker. He's only been paying attention to Miles Morales. And this storyline is now 37. Yeah, let me talk about comics here.
You're making Brian's day by letting him talk. Hey, Brian has as much say in the show as I do. So if he wants to talk about comics, we can talk about comics.
Well,
Danny said, "Got to bounce. Great show. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it, brother.
I
Have a
only
good
want to
one."
talk about a few more though, just so you know. So I don't know if you guys have been reading the Ultimate Spider-Man. This is number 20. Ultimate Spider-Man, this storyline with the maker in this new world has been amazing. This is probably my favorite Peter Parker Spider-Man run I've had in the last 5 years.
Nice.
Wow. You know, I know Amazing Spider-Man ones, out there, and the story's been kind of convoluted. This Ultimate Spider-Man has been fire.
Wow. Yeah, you kind of get me hyped to these comic books, Again, I haven't read comic books in a long time, but I love the covers that you're showing. And it's funny because you brought up Doom and Mephisto, right? So they obviously have comics centered around villains. I think you could do that in the movies too, as well, as long as you let them be the villain.
I think
You know what
they
I mean?
will.
Not an anti-hero, a villain.
Mephisto is the devil. You can't be anti-hero Mephisto. Let's
Facts.
go. We need him. And
Facts.
Mephisto needs to be,
100%.
especially in this X-Men run move. If we don't get Mephisto, if we don't get Mr. Sinister,
Facts.
you're wrong.
Do you want Sacha Cohen Bowen to still play Mephisto as he did in Ironheart?
Well, it doesn't even matter. I think they recast Thanos. So when you go, you can give him see how he does, give him a test. If it doesn't go well, you can recast it and not have to worry about it.
100%. You can also put him in his devil form if you're putting him in the movie and just have him play the voice or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think the reason why they didn't do that is because of the budget of Ironheart. You can't put him in the devil thing, but I think if you do that, you could definitely put him in the devil form and have him in one of these movies. I agree with you. I'm thinking about buying Storm's last solo series. Brian, what did you?
It's fun.
Go ahead.
No, it really is. I mean, Storm's last series has been a lot of fun. I didn't like the beginning. I didn't like the sexualization of it. I didn't like they didn't give her the autonomy as a Black woman that I was not happy about. But her as a hero, she was great.
So let me ask you this, because I know there was There was the T'Challa thing that you hated. Did they ever address that? Did you get the comments that addressed that?
Yeah.
The white, they did.
So
How did
it's
they?
no, so it's going. It's still going. I got the
Oh, is
second
it?
one, and they're talking about how she got pregnant and how he's a adopted son and how all of it. I think I have it over here somewhere. I don't like it. I like what he's doing. Yeah, it is right here.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it. He pisses me off. I don't know what the hell Priest is doing. Just and I used to love Priest. I love Priest's like he's done this so many times. His volume 3 is has a lot of good parts. A lot of good parts. Priest does not read Black Panther comic books. There's no doubt in my
Mm-hmm.
mind. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even know what T'Challa. He does what he wants to do with T'Challa. He has no idea what lore is. He doesn't care, and that's my problem with Priest.
Do you think there's a way he can fix it for you
He
with
won't.
these series?
He
He
won't.
won't?
Nope.
I
Priest is
got
just
you.
mad. He's mad because he feels like Black comic book creators are shoehorned into Black characters.
Yeah, yeah,
And he
yeah,
wants to
yeah.
do other characters. I want to do Spider-Man. I want to do which he's done. But that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you ruin my character.
I agree.
And that's I could go on Priest for a while, but I
Yeah,
don't want to get out of here without talking about this one right here.
Ooh, Mr. Terrific. Let's
These Mr.
go.
Terrific ones have been awesome.
Really?
If there's two things I'll say to read, Mr. Terrific Year 1 will be one of them, and the other one will be Absolute Wonder Woman. Those are the two comic books I would say if you only read a couple of them, read those two. Absolute Wonder Woman is fire. So
Absolutely. Guys, those was it. Brian's review. The Mr. Terrific looks good. And like I said, it's good to see these Black comic books getting made, Black movies getting made. You know what I mean? James Gunn, don't give us a Mr. Terrific series. Give us a movie. If you're happy with Superman making the amount of money it did, then you would be happy with maybe $100 million budget on a Mr. Terrific movie, making 300, 400 million, right? You could do
I think
that.
that's what we're
So,
gonna get for Supergirl. I don't think Supergirl's gonna
me
make more than
too.
400 million.
Yeah, me too. I agree 100%. And I think if you at least keep the budget low, you can make a profit off of it, right? So it'll still be a success. But, guys, with that being said, that was the show. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Much appreciated. Next week, we'll be on the Spoiler Kings channel as the major channel over there. I will be simultaneously broadcasting it, and Brian will be doing most of the hosting techniques over there. Let us know what you thought of the show. Danny said it was fire. I thought we had a little technical difficulties over there, but I think we did pretty well. What about you, Brian?
I think this is fun. I think it's a great time. I think the comments are really going to be part of the show, and I really want you guys to say if you have topics you want us to talk about, let us know. Put in the comments.
Facts.
Say, hey, can you talk about this? That'll be part of the show too.
100%, where we can maybe put a section for something that the audience wants us to talk about,
Exactly.
which is very interesting. Now, we did say we were going to keep the show to an hour, and I was like, that's wishful thinking.
What happens if you start talking about T'Challa and all things go off the rails? That's just what
Yeah,
it is.
100%. I think we did a good job of keeping most topics to 10 minutes in there, but we did have to go through the comments and stuff like that, so which added to it. But we're definitely going to figure out a way to make it a little bit more tighter for you guys and stuff like that. But I think we did a great job. Brian, tell the people where they can find you one last time, sir.
Yo, 1/3 of Spoiler King. So you're gonna see us live tonight. We're gonna be doing the last Harry Potter movie. Then we finally get to the Expanse. Thank God. And then Monday we will be going live talking about all of our movie reviews with my boy Tank, my guy Brandman. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
And you know what's funny, Tank, that you're here. Last night I was like, Brian, I hope Tank and Brian man don't think I'm trying to steal Brian away from the Spoiler King. You know what I mean? Because I ain't doing that. We just collaborating, brother. So you guys still got your boy.
Hey, collabing is the best way to do these things. We want to talk. I want you to see our people. I want our people to see you, and this way we
Yeah.
can kind of spread out and continue to grow. So thank you guys for doing that with us. Thank you for us growing, and yeah, thanks for watching.
Even Tank laughing at the hour.
I know. He's like, you can't stop Brian for an hour. Come on. You put the
And on
quarter in
that,
and let the jukebox go.
facts 100%. And it's funny too because I can do that too. Like you give me a topic and it's something and then we could just go on. So it's going to be interesting to see how this dynamic plays out. But I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming in here, making this first episode great. And I hope we can do other stuff and make it even better for you guys. So I appreciate it 100%. We will see you on the next one. Peace, love, and hair grease. Bigger Ford and Brian the Grizzly out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.